with Intention, podcast where we bring you stories from around the globe. Hello and welcome to another podcast on Rise and Thrive Mornings with Intention. And I have a beautiful guest with me today, Niki Hall. Welcome back again. So glad to have you on our podcast.
Hi, Ava. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. I hope your day is going well so far.
Very well.
That's awesome. So we are here with Niki once again because she's got some amazing news to share with us and show us your brand new book that just launched. And please tell us a little bit about yourself and where you're from.
All right. First of all, I'm Niki Hall. I am a mindset and success coach. I am a writer and producer of these kind of books. And I am a founding partner of a new business in direct sales that's just in soft launch right now. But I am here to share that there is a new book out called Quantum Manifestation, and it is harnessing the law of attraction to realize your dream life. And that is a collective group of us, as you can see down here, that have contributed a chapter because manifestation is really is a part of everybody's life, whether we realize it or not, whether we tune into it or not. And we're getting to understand it a little better and better and better. So we decided to create a collective called Quantum Manifestation so that we can get down to the brass tactics a little more and we can do a broad representation of the different personalities and the different kind of qualities of distinctions in different living in different parts of the world, and how our sensitivities come out, how our disciplines come out, how our recognitions begin to develop and evolve, and we start getting it. It's like, oh, we're manifesting, and we grow from there. So we put a collection of people together and try and encourage everybody to tune in and make life a little easier for them. So we created this book called Quantum Manifestation.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And it is truly inspiring. And congratulations on that wonderful book. And I love the cover. It looks really good. Um,
Thank you.
You're welcome. So the title is called A Quantum Manifestation. Can you please explain to us what does that really mean to you, and how is it maybe different from the traditional approach to law of attraction?
Okay, so first I'm going to start. Before we started, I went to the Google, as my mother would call it, and I looked up the definition for quantum manifestation. So I want to get our heads around a fundamental quantum definition of manifestation. And it says a concept that suggests people can influence reality through their thoughts and intentions, and that all desires that outcomes are already present within us. We just have to manifest, we just have to bring them forth, right? It's based on the idea that people are microcosms in the universe and can accept its infinite possibilities. Like the Wright brothers had this vision, it was perfect and it was right in their mind to think, hey, this is out there and I can create it and I know it. So for them, it was right. For other people, they thought not so much, and when we were inventing electricity, when we were inventing the phone, when we were inventing the computer, all of this was because somebody in their vision and in their quiet conversation, not the word conversation, the spiritual connection conversation, knew that there was something out there that can come into a tangible reality. So basically, that's really like what we're trying to do, and like Ava said, there's a leap to the law of attraction. So for me, there's a couple of steps for manifestation. And I'm going to this is probably like the first quarter of what I wrote. The first thing that is important, like let's say this book is the cosmos, and the end of this pen, let's make it the end, little bitty end of that pen is you, if not, a grain of salt or something. We seem to think that we exist way out here in the cosmos or way out here, and our higher power, God, the creation, exists here, and there's this chasm of space. There's a broken spot, there's a broken area where there's even a cavern, and there's a clear break between this and this. Like there doesn't seem to be a connection. While there's completely a connection. One of the ladies I was interviewing to come into my program this morning said, well, I realize my higher power, I realize that God is here, and I realize I am God. And what she was trying to say is you're created with an image of yourself that is creation that flows in harmony with our life. Like what that bit of creation is what keeps us walking on the ground and not floating away. What keeps day happening every single day, day, night, day, night, day, night, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. All of those things are connected, and we are connected to that. But for me, manifestation had to mean that I had to go from here to here, and I had to embody myself in the circle, in the energy, in the reality, in the embodiment of creation, of that vibe. So that's where that was the tool to enable me to start manifestation. So then a lot of people grow and they start seeing that there's a connection between that and the law of attraction, and they start. But again, because we live in a society where we're given a lot of information, and we're given the tools sometimes that are the biggest, bestest, easiest vehicle for us to understand, we don't understand that there's other things that happen between manifestation and the law of attraction. So the law of attraction is a little different for me, but I'd like to stop here for a minute and get your feedback, Ava.
Well, I love that you're sharing with us all the insights, and it's it's very broad topic,
Yes.
and there can be so much to talk about, but I'm not gonna take it away from you. I want you to
No.
share a little bit more, but I also want to jump into a little bit about the name you chose for this chapter. It says, "Let's take a stroll." Can you give us a glimpse of what the metaphor or story behind that title is?
Sure. What happened for me was I was very young. The only way I could figure it out is because I had a picture of myself when I was 4 on my birthday, and my hair was cut a certain way. And before, when I recognized this higher power that exists, and I had this moment, um, I was trying to quantify when that happened. And the only way I could quantify that was because I got a really radical haircut after I had that aha moment, and that was when I was 4. So when you're 4 and you recognize your higher power and you recognize creation within itself, like it's so big, it's so awe that you have no idea what it is. So my life just had to kind of take a stroll with it. I let it take me by the hand in a lot of, the first decade, even in the second decade of my life. So I felt like I was just strolling hand in hand with creation for a while. So I called it Let's Take a Stroll.
I love that. That's why I wanted to see what was the story behind it because I'm like, there's more to it, isn't there?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And going
Yeah.
back to quantum manifestation, I absolutely love that those two words. It resonates so much with me nowadays, especially that, starting with Dr. Joe Dispenza. And law of attraction, I think, is kind of what we all start off with, and then we go deeper into it. So for me, that's kind of how I look at it. Like law of attraction is like that manual, that guide, how to get you from here to there. Quantum manifestation is like you being it. All those tools you've had, now you're using them. So you quantum leaping, quantum manifesting instead of sitting in there waiting it for happening, you being it, you quantum finding your life to whatever desires you want in life. That's why I'm like, well, let's think about it a little bit deeper here, right? So I mean it can have a different meaning for everybody, but that's kind of the meaning it has for me at this point in time.
Yes. It also, when you say it like that, it's really easy to visualize the wave of a quantum movement and a quantum leap. It's, tiny particles of vibration that causes a wave and that causes that quantum movement and that leap and that jump into creation.
Exactly. So you're a mindset and success coach. Let's go into that a little bit. What are some of the most common limiting beliefs you see holding people back from manifesting their dream life? And how do you perhaps help them if you can give us at least some tips?
Yes. Well, I already started by the first thing you want to do is you want to realize you're part of a bigger picture. So you want to reconnect. What I do is I help people reconnect to their higher power, to their higher self first, as well, and their higher power, right? And then the next thing is that we have to know order. Like, can you imagine our creator, our higher power, God, putting all this together? He didn't have order. So one thing is, I try to bring back order to the forefront. And then fundamentally, I do talk about the laws, all the laws of the universe, well, many of the spiritual laws of the universe, and how we have been disconnected or how we have shelved a lot of our ability to become the best person we could become, and we've left part of ourselves behind. So I try to culminate that back. I try to bring that back into the fold of who you are. So I don't bring in teaching. I don't bring in more teachings for you to accept and start disciplining yourself. I I get you to try and accept the wonderful person that you are, and that there's more that you left on the shelf to make it easier for your day-to-day lifestyle. And that's just the beginning of the course.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that. Again, I love the title of this book. And the book also talks about high frequency energies. What
Mhm.
practical tips can you share for raising and maintaining a positive vibrational frequency as much as you can?
Well, I think you're going to be really in agreement with that, and that is learning, and that is learning mindset, learning yourself. And when you start learning yourself, and when you continue to live in a learning and a visual acceptance lifestyle and a creative lifestyle, your self awareness goes from here to here, and your creation will rise to the level as well. Your manifestation, everything moves forward on that level of self awareness. But you have to learn to develop that self awareness. And programs like you and I offer will bring it right in for you and bring you right to the point so that life could be easier for you to live at a higher level of awareness. So manifestation happens at the level you are hoping or looking for it to happen at.
Awesome. So let's learn a little bit more about Niki. So, and what you do and the experiences you've had for those that may not know you so much yet. Sorry, what was the most transformative or eye-opening moment in your personal manifestation journey? And how did that shape the way you help others now?
Okay, well, the biggest one was before I was 4 and realizing there is something out there that is communicating with us, that's part of us, that connects you to the ground, to the trees, to the earth, to the wind, to life. So that changed me from living in a competitive lifestyle to a creative lifestyle. So when I was young, that happened. But as an adult, and more recently, let's say 4 years ago, what happened was you and I were in the same course at that time and refining some of our coaching skills because we love everyone and we want to present the best. Um, it was like a Saturday afternoon, and you have all these chores to do and you have all this stuff to do, but I wanted to do my course. But I couldn't. I had a list of things to do. So in my morning meditation, I sat down and said, okay, I'm going to listen only to the teachings. I'm perfectly capable of doing, the mundane chores, la la la, the tra la la the day, and have part of me open to hear and to whatever I accept in my consciousness to accept and enfold into my unconscious, my subconscious mind, so I can create a different flow of energy. I could cause manifestation. I could cause growth in my direction. So I turn on the program and I'm listening to it for 10 hours straight while I'm doing my work. And I got an epiphany. I got enlightened, if you want to use that word. And I just moved the from knowing and understanding the statement of becoming one between your higher power and your higher self. I became better at that in the moment of understanding how I am one in all this creation, how I am bonded in this creation, and how easier it is to solely live in creation without any kind of competition. Just knowing my personality and my intellectualism, that much more where I got passion and excitement and grace and wisdom, and I shared it, and it changed my life into this direction.
Wow, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing. And don't you love those moments when your awareness just shifts and feel like almost like a newborn sometimes?
Yes, exactly. And every time you do that, you get there, life feels easier. Like you've got this, let's say, this little ball of energy, and there's a certain amount of tension that comes with it because we live in the world. But every time you get that kind of epiphany, some of that frequency that's going no, 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 no at you all day long or all the time disappears.
Yeah, exactly. So tell me, how do you balance the science and the spiritual aspects of quantum manifestation when working with individuals who may be a little bit skeptical about one or the other?
Well, that's interesting. I don't think I work with people that are skeptical anymore. You attract who you are. So it's been years that I've ever had to really confront the skepticism. Once in a while, I will date somebody, I'm single, and I'll feel that skepticism from that person, or I'll feel that wondering, but there's no more conversation there. There's no more having to quantify or qualify myself. There's no more of anything like that because once a person gets to a certain generative manner of life in creation, that doesn't exist anymore. People could be in your circle, they could be in your energy, they could be inquisitive in your space and want to know more. But the people that are skeptical in a manner that they choose not to really embrace this won't come near me because they won't get the argument, they won't get the energy, and they won't get the satisfaction. So they don't come near me anymore.
Yeah. And the reason I asked this question, because it proves you right there, the energy you do send out is the energy comes back. So it's all in the law of attraction, right? So that's exactly it. So I love that you're sharing that. So tell us what's coming up for Niki Hall next? Do you have some big projects on the go coming up? What's for 2025?
Well,
Anything?
I have lived a really cool and very interesting life. And if I was to look at the average person, I probably lived it out of sequence. So in the last 3 years, I manifested and lived and became and am more myself. I'm more authentic. Let's say 10 years ago, I'll give you a bird's eye view. I feel like if you could humanize God, he was standing there, like leaning up against the wall, and he had his arms crossed, and you could hear his foot going, like he's waiting for me. That slightly annoyed, come on, hello, hello.
Yeah.
So the last 3 years, I've been working on not having that anymore because I knew I had gifts that I wasn't using or that I wasn't engaging in and that I had accountability for. So I built up those gifts. I'm building up my who I am. And next year I'm going to bask in that and I'm going to grow and I'm just going to go like stink. I'm just going to have the best, funnest, fullest life I can have.
So, in other words, living your best life.
Absolutely.
That's right. And you know what, going back to kind of what you said, I think a lot of us have unused potential that's sitting within us. We don't tap into our gifts as much as we should. There's so much within us that we could do so much more. I mean, everybody's in their own awareness, but of what I've realized is even myself. We definitely don't use the gifts we have received to the extent we should definitely go after because we can, help
Yes.
so many people out there. I mean, you can use your gifts to good or bad, but here, of course, we're talking about putting it to good use to help others around the world, whether it's by sharing inspirational stories to helping them through difficult times to whatever might be because it's not just about business, it's about relationships, it's about becoming the better version of yourselves and the people around you, because when you level yourself higher and higher, it spirals. It's the ripple effect. You help others do the same because they'll see it in you and they're hopefully gonna want to do the same, if not more.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's really important to, be that shining light. And that this is why Niki and myself, we both love sharing inspirational stories, helping people, just to be that better version of themselves, rediscover, like, rediscover all over again who you are, because, you might have had one awakening and you think that's it. No, there's so many wonderful things you could be doing, and the awareness just keeps opening and opening, right?
Yes, yes. The key is, I think, and Ava, I think you're saying this also, is to become a life learner. We don't have to know everything right now, but it would help to know one thing today or tomorrow so that we can apply it, so that we can know the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. Um, to, become the authentic person that we've been gifted with and we were meant to be. Like it's our time now. We have to belly up to the table with our gifts, not the neighbors, not what your parents thought were supposed to be, not with, what our boss was in agreement with. We have to belly up with who we are.
Exactly. So, of course, I ask all my guests this question at the end, knowing that the name of the podcast is Rise and Thrive, Mornings with Intention. How does your approach to quantum manifestation align with the idea of rising and thriving intentionally every day?
Oh, I've got a routine. When I was younger, back when I was 20, in my 20s, I caught on by accident. I just started having a coffee and I would go and sit in the corner and try not to be disturbed because I came from a big family, a big energy, a lot of everything, right? So then I learned, hey, this is pretty cool. You get to sit quiet in your space in the morning and you can cause a better day for yourself. So I have a routine every morning. I've had it for decades. I modify it. Our teachers say, don't be afraid to learn about something and make change right away. So as I grow, I modify it to suit my needs and the effects of what I'm looking for. But a quiet space in the morning, a quiet meditation, visualizing your day, picking out those things that best suit your character and best suit your manner of achieving a goal in specific distinction. Apply it, just be quiet for a little bit in the morning and apply it. And that's what I do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Nikki. And once again, to our beautiful listeners, we will post all the information how to get in touch with Nikki in this video. So subscribe to my channel as well so you don't miss another podcast or other insights. And thank you so much, Nikki, for being here with us today. It's a pleasure to have you. And thank you so much for sharing all the wonderful insights and golden nuggets with us.
Thanks, Eva.
And everybody else, I hope you have a wonderful day and see you guys soon again. Thank you.